city keeps its secrets, but nothing hides forever. This is the evidence trail. I've seen enough crime scenes to know one thing: people lie, but evidence can lead to the truth. And my partner, Chris G., knows how to read it. Each episode, we open the file, trace the facts, and let the science speak. So watch your step. Once you're on the evidence trail, the truth is coming for you.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Evidence Trail. I'm joined by Andrei Portinho, a senior forensic specialist and expert witness based in Brazil. Andrei holds a master's in criminal sciences and in medical health law, and he is here to discuss forensic science and its application to crime scene reconstruction. Now, I will say that Andrei speaks English, however, it's not his first language. However, his English is far better than my Portuguese. So we're going to record in English today. Hello, Andrei, and welcome to the show.
Okay. Hello, everyone, listeners and lovers to the Evidence Trails podcast. I'm turning a big fan for your podcast because I already listen and I'm as you can say I and listen. I'm learning to speak English well, and this is a challenge for me because in South Brazilian in Latin America, it's not in all the corners you found English speakers, and this is a challenge. But I'm trying to keep in touch with the English speakers throughout my career and throughout my forensic experience. And this is a point to get in touch with these guys, and I think it's the best way to develop in my skills.
Oh, I'm humbled with that. I know that this podcast, reaches corners of the globe, but I hadn't even thought that people were listening to it to understand English. I'm going to have to work on my British accent a bit more, so start talking a bit more proper English for all the listeners. But that's really great to hear. Thank you, Andrei.
Thanks.
So this podcast, we're going to learn a little bit about yourself and what you get up to over the pond in Brazil. So firstly, could you tell us about your career? And let's start with how you became interested in forensic science.
Well, I'm from the law students as I told you, and I study. I'm just since the beginning. My law students, criminal law, always catch my attention. And when I finished the graduated, I chose to do the final work in a criminal case. But I just thinking about my future when I just graduated. I'm thinking in I don't know, just work in a policy, like a policy officer, and pay the contests. You have to in Brazil. You have to do it. You have to attempt a public contest to get the position of the policy officer. And I just thinking about working a policy, like a policy officer or prosecutor or a judge, maybe. But this is very hard, very challenging, and I know I had to give so much time to get there. So and I'm just graduated and get the law card, and I can exercise the professional law and an attorney, and like work as attorney. And a criminal attorney is very interesting career, and I'm just proud myself to get this, but I want more. And in the middle of the I throughout the way, I found the public contest, the forensic officer public contest in 2008. I'm graduated in 2005. In 2008, I just saw the public call in the paper, and oh my gosh, I just started to study in hard study. I just close in my house until 59 years. Don't go anywhere. Just studying and studying hard. 12, 14 hours for day. And when I go to the contest, I just get the score and and have to wait more 5 years to s-
Yeah.
to to be called and named by the position. 5 years
And that was to be
because
a police officer, was it? Not a like forensic specialist. That was
not just graduated. The law in Brazil just required the graduating in any field. I just started to work in 2030. In 2030, I just started to work with crime reconstructions, and it's like a junior, like a beginner, trainee. And I worked with a two along 2 years, and then I just has invited to get a new position like a disciplinary responsible when I just have a chief position in 2 years, and I just gave classes to the policy class to the new ones, policies and forensic officers. And it's just very quickly when I started to work as a forensic officer, even a junior, I just gave classes, and because I had a background like I'm attorney in law, in criminal law, and I get in this when waiting to the call from the forensic official. I just waited, have to do something to pay, to pass the time, and I got a master degree in criminal science. It's very even today I have the hardest time to date this conquer because it's a very important title in Brazil. Master in Criminal Science allowed me to give class in the best university in Latin America as I am today currently. I'm a professor in PUC, Pontifícia Universidade Católica do Rio Grande do Sul. It's a kind of Catholic university. It's the like as I said, it's the best private university in Latin America. And so when I get this postgraduated in them, I just call it to the forensic officer position. So I am in the turning one month. I turned forensic officer and criminal science master degrees, and my career is boom in 2022.
I see.
And just in 2023, I just started, like I said, and in 2016, I became a disciplinary chief, and developing this positioning along 2 years. And then I go back to the attempt duties in 2018. In 2018, go back attempt duties in homicides and suicides and nothing about accidents. In 2019, my forensic officer state department just created a new position in Capão da Canoa. It's a advanced point state station, and I just one position for a forensic officer, experienced senior like me, and I just, oh my god, I can't wait to start it and go without more awareness. I just go to the assume the position because my dreams always live near the ocean, and now I live in front of the sea and have a high quality lifestyle. And this is very important, man, because I just time in my life I'm done about the criminal and just thinking go out because it's very stressful. Once I hear you told about that, in your podcast. I think it's the first or the second episode when you said, Chris, you then about the duties and don't have a weekends. And this is very bad. It's very worse and tough to 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 support. And I'm in this stage in my life. And when my son was born, I think in changing this. And I just today it's even about the developing English. I can't get the core of the best things of the forensic science, and just trying to get my mind safe to the mental annoying.
It's so
If
important, isn't
you know
it?
what I mean.
Because yeah,
And
when
that's
you're
it. That's the reason.
but yeah, when you're giving absolutely everything at a crime scene and things like that, the one thing you want to do when you get home is to just unwind, and it just sounds perfect, doesn't it? If you're living by the ocean, you've got that kind of way to unwind and things, and it's different for a lot of people. So I'm quite lucky that I live by the beach, so I can go for beach walks as well. It's probably not as nice as the Brazilian beaches, but you know, it's nice to have that calming experience, the waves and things, whereas other people will be walking around lakes, they're walking, you know, out in forests and things. It's yeah, any way to kind of pass the time and yeah, look after one's health is yeah, it's really important. But looking at your career, Andre, it seems like you take on an awful lot. Whereas, you know, for me, in my experience in forensics, I will just be kind of like a crime scene investigator throughout most of my career, where that will just be my sole role. But it sounds like you're a police officer as well as a forensic specialist, and you also lecture as well at universities. It's an awful lot that you're doing by the sounds of it. So if I were to take a walk around the place where you're from, what sort of sights would I see? I've done a little bit of research, and the internet says it's famous for wine, cowboy lifestyle, and strong family values. Is that fairly accurate?
Yeah. The wines and the Oliver is very famous about around the world.
Yeah, I think it's you get a lot of good wine from sort of yeah where you're from, South Brazil, Argentina, do a lot of good wines.
But I don't drink alcoholic, nothing, just a little, one beer. But I'm not. Wine is not my. Yeah, it's not my desire. I just prefer the chimarrão.
Yeah.
It's a no alcoholic and no troubles.
Well, I'm from England, so obviously I can recommend tea. We drink a lot of tea over here.
Yeah.
But what about crime? What is crime like where you're from?
But I don't know if you heard about the Uruguay stats or Argentina stats. It's very similar. South Brazilian is the it's a particularly and relative safety
Yeah.
than the rest of the Latin America. You have a good states and dates, and basically I have to say is it's a kind of, except the metropolitan parties like the capital Porto Alegre, but in the rest of the region you have a, European levels of the public security and high quality life.
Mm. So it's worse as go north of the country.
I just changing in members. In my duty, for example, I just attend one one case per duty per 24 hours. But it's last duty last Wednesday. I just staying home on call and don't go out. You don't need it. So it's pretty safe from the as I said, public security crimes like your homicides, like organized crime. And but we have to pay attention in another case in the health public, like the suicides. It's a health problem. It's a health issue, public health issue, and we have to pay attention as well. And in this region, as I said, I attend the fire case, but I have to attend the crash, the car crash case, and this is very very sad because it's a bad number from the Latin America. The structure, the structure is not good, so we have to say that it's not a European stats, but it's exception because the ways is not good. The roads, it's not. It's the ground's okay, but the signalization is not the best. And I had to say this is not a European stats.
But they can be the worst crime or worst cases to go to is road accidents because yeah, it can often be, like you could get a whole family in a car or, you get such devastation and, none of it was expected. So yeah, they could be often really tricky cases to deal with. In my career, I would only really get involved in road traffic collisions if, say, it was a hit and run, so the person that has, say, killed someone has driven off and didn't stop. That's when I would get involved. But we would have our kind of forensic road traffic collision team that would deal with that. And this is what I'm getting from you, Andre, is that over in our country, we would have, say, like a lot of specialists that would deal with a lot of the things that you seem to do yourself. And I wonder if that is just because of the rate of crime that you get. Perhaps there is less crime that you're not getting called out to all the time. So when there is something for you to go to, it's, it probably can be quite varied and you need those kind of broad range of skills. Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
it's true. It's true. Makes sense. Of course, it's a challenge to work in the different fields, but the generous is very important position because you have to build the bridge with the policy talks and as I said always to do to pay attention and look after the chain of custody.
So my next question for you, Andre, is what can you tell us about crime scene reconstruction and the processes you go through? And do you have an example of, say, a case that's worked particularly well for you?
Yes, the crime scene reconstruction. What it was a very a big school for me because it's where I molded my future career in the forensic science because I think I'm just fits well in the crime scene investigator, but I'm a little I just was younger when I started to work in a forensic job, and the crime scene in reconstruction, it's was an opportunity to know deeply the procedure and the legal issues and saw the crime by the photographs and the videos and not in the crime scene real. It's a big school for building my career, building my throughout career. But the point is the perfect crime scene reconstruction. It's a experienced forensic crime engineer, and I think I'm turn around to the end of the line and just beginning from the end, but it works. Now I'm just a reference in the crime scene. I publish a lot of articles and papers and show like a speaker in the Congress,
Yeah.
in the National Congress for Forensic Science, and will happen this year in my state in Gramado. Gramado is in the mountains, and I think it's the crime scene. It's my I gave all I have with the crime scene reconstruction, and my book with crime scene reconstruction will be going in the stores if God allows until the end of this 2026.
Congratulations, Andre. That's quite an accomplishment. And
It's,
will that be something that will be purchasable worldwide? So will people be able to buy it in, say, this country? Is it going to be translated?
just in the beginning, starting in Portuguese, but yes, it's translated in English, and I think it's the in Spanish as well. I think is Spanish and English is enough.
Sick. Yeah, congratulations. And to be a speaker in Congress, I mean, that's a real privilege to be invited there. So what are kind of any difficulties with crime scene reconstruction, and what can you sort of tell listeners who want to sort of do this sort of thing, say like common mistakes that might be made and any kind of mistakes to avoid? You got any advice?
Yeah, in crime scene reconstruction, we have to pay attention in the details, like always in the forensic fields, but specifically in crime scene reconstruction, it's tough to lead with the, you know the witness and the victims, survivors from the crime, and the person who has the state force. It had a lot of rights, and a lot with your attorney trying to difficult your work, and you have to stay focused on the goal. Is the goal the true? Just the compromise to the true, and don't say give ears to the police officers or the prosecutor or the attorneys. You just have to talking about the people, and just makes they read what we said have said in the process, in the legal process, and repeat it and show it with physical movements how how can it's possible,
Mm.
and it's possible or not possible, it's human possible, it's physical possible. How which science can help me with answer these questions. And this is I think this is the point to the get good results, and support the judge decisions and the officer decisions.
One of the things that I teach as well is when you are doing, say, like a reconstruction, or you're evaluating what you've got at the scene, if what you then see and the evidence that you collect and the evidence that you can see doesn't fit with your initial thoughts, then you have to change your thoughts. And I've seen it sometimes before where someone will have an idea, but the evidence doesn't match that idea, and then they'll try and think of a way to get that to kind of fit. And it's like, you cannot do that. It's got to be like, if it's not possible because the evidence is telling you that it's not possible, then you have to come up with another theory. You have to, do a bit more investigations and things. And yeah, it sounds like you've got that mindset as well. You are looking at the evidence, and if the evidence doesn't fit, then that's what you demonstrate, that it can't happen like this because of this.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's a kind of the many attorneys use the crime scene reconstructed report to try to bring a confusion
Mm.
in judges' minds.
Yeah, yeah.
That's in fact.
I think off camera you told me about a case that you had in a motel that was relatively good.
Yes.
Do you want to
Yeah.
talk us through that? So, how did that come to you? Was that a phone
I,
call that you took at home?
once I attend some, I think it's the very first important case I attended.
We always remember those, don't we? We always
It's a
remember how
case.
important.
It's a case. It's a closed case. So I can talking about that with. I'm comfortable to talking about that. I think it's pretty allowed. Man, it's a case I attended in Porto Alegre city. It's a case from the man who goes into the motel with two girls. The first one is sitting in your side on car, but it's ex-wife. She's his ex-wife. And there is another one girl hiding in the bags, in the bags position in car.
Yeah.
And this is hidden, and the receptionist in motel saw that, receive people, and now, okay, check in, give me a room, okay, room 29. It's a very renowned about the room 29 or 28 case. It gets famous about this name. And man, if the fact is the guy had a mental disturb and just screaming and hitting all the things and all the people we found, and the people called the the employees of the hotel call the police, and police take there to the mental hospital, and the guy died before uh, three or not least 3 hours. And so this case is stranger, and I think, firstly, I think all the people lie, the cameras is from the motel from the day just crashed and disappeared, strangely disappeared. And the police officers is assured to the military officers killed the guy. So the case is just don't fit in my English, but it's very very extensive, a long story. But I have a memory to this case when the with witness told me, "Oh, Andrei, when I looked up and I'm here screaming from the room, and I just look up to the window, and with the mirror, the roof mirror shows the victim, died man, pushing the neck from your ex-wife." And so this is a little trail, but it's just the important fact not told before in the process. It's a new one informed in my report to solve the case and take the freedom to the policy officers inputted.
So this person has strangled, got the ex-wife, was it, around the neck whilst in the motel room?
Yes.
He's been taken away to a police station, but he has died in custody. Is that right? A few hours afterwards.
Yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of injustice
Yeah.
and unfair results, and I just, of course, it's a subject issue, but crime scene reconstructions, it's even about subjects, because you are a person one thinking, and you have to give some answers, not even in the science, in the mathematics or engineering or like answers like that. I think you are building a result and an answer, and when I just translated in a report in a science language, I just thinking about the possibilities, the physical possibilities, the human possibilities, and about the biological issues. I pay attention in the mathematical issues, the time, the time spent when the police officers get the man and take in the hospital. And I think it's a mix of the answers science to get the main answer. It's possible, it's not possible, and I answered it's not possible. It's much more possible. The guy has a internal problem, and get the from the, the toxic use, the use drugs, and it's perfectly clear to see the result. But the point is the crime scene reconstruction report it's very deciduous to the solve the case.
What were the key findings that you made during that investigation that really helped?
Yeah, it's just about talking with the witness. I had no evidence. The crime scene reconstruction work happened after six, no, 3 years before the fact.
Oh, I see.
So it's very tough because the people don't remember exactly what's happening, and it's tough. This is a very challenging work, but it has the law has a principle constitutional. When the people in doubt, you have to get free to the persons, and this is a human right. And I think the system, the state system shows a big problem in this case because the rights is very tension.
Do you ever sort of get emotionally attached? Does it ever sort of affect you in a way, or do you have a good way of coping with it? I know we've spoken about going home and relaxing by the sea or anything like that, but I noticed that you said earlier on that you don't like to talk to your wife and kid about what you do sometimes, probably as a way to protect them. So is there any other methods that you do to look after yourself?
To release minds, you mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, the forensic job is very tough to lead in your mind and release the problems.
mm,
I think it's the key. You when the professional, you have to develop and the work professionally and thinking like a mission. When you thinking separated the fields, the man, the father, the my husband, and and when I separe colleague, friends, and citizen, and when I separated these in my mind, and I just get the balance, and when I get the balance, I just started
yeah.
to publish articles and talk in another language with in another fields.
But yeah, go back to when you said about you don't really picture them as a husband or a wife because that's when it can get really tough. You know, I think whenever I would be dealing with someone that's passed away, I'd be giving myself like a little list of things to do. So it's like they're still a person when you walk away from that scene, but when you're actually in the scene and doing it, I just think like, right, they are a piece of work almost. They are something that I've now got to do, and I've got all these processes in place to go through. And it keeps my mind busy in a way. And I think when I've really struggled at certain crime scenes is when all I've got to do is watch and I don't get involved. I don't get sort of hands on. And that's the worst thing that I can do. I have to be there doing something because then it keeps my mind busy. And yeah, that's the way that I've always gotten through it. Yeah, Andre, this has been really, really interesting. It's been so interesting to see, what happens the other side of the Atlantic. And you say that you've got a few articles out already. They've been published, have they? These articles?
Yes, it is
Uh,
available in the just put my name in the or crime scene reconstruction or reprodução simulada de crimes em português.
yeah.
Yeah, I
Um,
think it works.
yeah, definitely. I'll be sure to check out those. And yeah, I encourage my listeners as well to have a look at those articles. So search for Andrei Portinho. I'll put the spelling of your name in the show notes. And yeah, search for crime scene reconstruction. And you say you've got a book coming out at the end of this year as well. So everyone look out for that. Andre, I'll have to have you on again nearer the time so we can promote your book for more people to listen. If anyone wants to contact you, Andre, what's the best way for them to contact you?
Well, but just appreciated this morning. It's very, very productive morning, and I just can waiting for this opportunity to talk to you, Chris. And I think it's very interested to the listeners. If you can get in touch with me and know more about my career and my projects, you can get me in Instagram. It's called Perito Portinho, Andrei Portinho, Perito Forense. I think is the best way. But I have a YouTube channel as well called it's Perito Portinho, Andrei Criminalística, something like that. I always changing the name. But I give some classes in this channel. It's very interesting, but it's in Portuguese, but you can translate it by English in the subtitles.
Yeah.
And I think is if it's no, I just send a documents or trade changing documents. You can call me in the email peritoportinho@gmail.com. And this is the best way to call with me. And I think the when you want to study forensic science, I'm always available to them, and I think it's the best way to keep in touch.
Yeah, if my listeners have any queries, then yeah, I'll include some of your social media handles in the show notes too. But Andrei, this has been a real pleasure to talk to you and see what life is like in forensics over in Brazil. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, man, and congratulations to the podcast. And I think we can be talk again in future.
The night folds over the city like a trench coat collar turned up against the rain. And somewhere out there, another story is already bleeding through the cracks. If you want to keep riding shotgun with us, subscribe to The Evidence Trail wherever you get your podcasts. If you want to spot beyond the flashing blue lights, join our Patreon. Subscribers get exclusive episodes, early access drops, and case files the rest of the world won't hear until the smoke clears. And when the mic goes silent, find us at Evidence Trail on social media. Until next time, stay curious. In a city like this, evidence is like a ghost in the fog. And if you're a crook walking the evidence trail, watch where you step.